What is the main difference between believing and knowing is this. Number one, believing is something that you're not is something that you wanna be sure of but you're not really sure. Totoo. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo talaga alam kung mangyayari pero naniniwala kang mangyayari. Knowing is what? It's just a fact. But the difference of believing and knowing is a diba, when you know something to be a fact, it is a fact either way. If something is a fact, it's something that cannot be denied. Whether you believe in it or not, it's just a fact. Anong ibig sabihin nun? When you know 1 plus 1 equals what? 2. Okay? Kahit sa hindi, I believe, by choice, I believe it is 4. Wala akong pake sa pinaniniwalaan mo. It's just 2. Di ba? A fact is a fact whether we like it or not. Okay? Yung belief, okay, it's something that we want to be true, but we're not really sure. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because here's the truth. There's one thing to believe you can be successful and another thing to know that you are successful. And the reason why maybe I'd like to talk about personal growth, personal development, because I want to transition and I want to shift your idea of success. Okay, I want to shift your idea of what? Making it in abundance, not from believing, but from knowing. So the very first thing here is to what? Shift and transition your consciousness from believing to knowing. To what? To what is possible. That 100,000 income on a monthly basis, 200,000 income on a monthly basis is not something that you believe, but it's something that you know. ₱1 million or $1 million in the bank is not something that you believe you will have, but it's something that you know. It may not happen yet, sure, but at least you know about it already. Does that make sense? And here's the truth. The third stage here, I call it faith. Ano yung faith? When you now start to make everything impossible possible by having a different consciousness of believing to knowing. Knowing of the things you hope for, knowing of the things you hope for, and being certain of the things you don't see. When now your consciousness expands, your consciousness becomes different, and now you're no longer believing you already know, but now you're already not just knowing, but you're already being faithful. Okay, kaya siya tinawag na being faithful because you are full of faith. When you are full of faith, you move in faith, correct? And when you move in faith, it's not something that you force, it's not something that you do, but it is just happens naturally. It is just a byproduct because you are full. Now, here's the thing. How do you know if you are true to your word? When you say yes to something, you will do it excellently. Okay? Doing something excellently is not something that you do. It is the minimum requirement. Totoo. Inoohan mo yan eh. Which means anything below excellence is not even possible. It measures your level of knowing, believing, but above all, the fullness of your faith, that you just know something will happen of the things you hope for, and you're certain of things you don't see. Which brings me to the topic and the learning that I'd like to share with you here is as far as your dreams and aspirations are concerned. Maybe my question for you is how concrete your what? Your vision is. Because a lot of you, the reason why you don't have work ethics because you don't have a concrete vision. Yes or yes? Because you just know it based on what? You know your vision based on concept or theory, not based on second level, which is now you know your concrete vision to become a fact. But it doesn't stop there. Ask me why. Because the third level here is it's no longer just a fact, but you know this is a scheduled reality. The reason I'm saying this is because of one thing. Yung pangarap po, mga kaibigan, may deadline. Klaro ba yon? Ibig sabihin, kung yung pangarap mo 5 years ago, pangarap mo pa rin siya ngayon, baka hindi na pangarap yung tawag dyan, panaginip. When your dreams is already, so long, it's no longer dreams of what? pangarap, it's already dreams na panaginip, which means it is not happening. You wanna transition your panaginip to pangarap, then have a deadline. If you can, you change your dream every year because you already have achieved it. Some people, they change their dream because they can't achieve it. I only believe in one thing that I want to share with you so you can believe in it also. But hopefully, you transition the believing to knowing and now start to transition the knowing to overflowing. That when you are overflowing, it is already full at ang tawag dyan, faith. Am I clear? Okay? My dreams can become reality. Pakisabi nga sa sarili, my dreams can become reality. Which means if my dreams can become reality, can you afford to be lazy? Which means either number one, it's not concrete enough. Number two, you're not believing enough. Or you're not transitioning your believing to knowing it is happening. Number three, there is no deadline. So maybe the only thing that I want to speak with you right now, number one, if you're not engaged with the team, then that's why. But maybe, just maybe, I want to share with you again what I say here. You don't have concrete vision enough. Now, do you want to learn how to make a concrete vision? Okay. Number one, okay, concretize your vision. Number one here is to what? Concretize your vision. Letter A. You call it psychopictography or you put it in pictures. Is that enough? In pictures? No. Number two, it has to be what? Passion-driven. Anong ibig sabihin ng passion-driven? Ibig sabihin, ito yung bagay na hilig mo. Kasi kung hindi mo naman hilig, kunwari, maglagay, sino dito katulad ko, hindi naman mahilig sa kotse. Kunyari, hindi ka naman mahilig sa kotse, wag ka na maglagay ng mga sports car dyan kasi wala ka rin naman pake. So what am I saying here? You don't really care. So don't put it. It has to be what? Passion-driven. Number three, it has to be purpose-driven. Passion, ito yung para sa sarili mo. To purpose-driven, it has to be what? Fulfilling or for others. Because believe it or not, some people don't move in a lot of action for themselves. They do it for other people. Some people do it for their family. Some people do it to help others. So, I want you to make it not just passion-driven but also purpose-driven. Anong ibig sabihin ng purpose-driven? Kapag hindi mo natupad yung pangarap mo, may mga taong apektado. Right now, I've been supporting, if I may share with you, ako personally, I've been supporting missionaries right now. Which means if we stop being successful this year, it's no longer us who's being affected, but there are livelihood of people who's being affected, missionaries. There are kids that cannot go to school. So do you think I can afford not to be successful? No. That's why your vision has to be not just in pictures, not just for yourself passion, but also it has to translate to purpose or others so that ganahan ka kasi merong mga taong apektado kapag hindi ka ginanahan. Last but not the least, it has to have one of my favorite numbers. Okay? One of the inspiration that I got from my meditation and download is this. I want to share this with you because as of today, effective right now, our vision for Prime is this. Can I share? 1 million people with a guaranteed retirement of more than 1 million pesos. Maganda ba yan? Which means, do you think I can afford to be lazy? No, I call it personally, no, for Prime, this, I call it the Prime 1M by 1M. Okay, it's not a campaign, it's just a personal vision. Which means I want to make sure that I want to build Prime Pinoy, and my definition of Prime Pinoys will be 1 million, guaranteed 1M pesos, 1 million people. 1 million Prime Pinoy that has guaranteed 1 million. And why am I sharing this? Now, but here's the thing. Can I be honest? I am not even 1% of this. But is 1 million by 1 million something that I can see? Something that I'm passionate? Why am I passionate? Because if there are 1 million people, of course, I've got more than one. Hindi ko na kailangan isipin yung kikitain ko, honestly. Basta sobrang dami, alam ko lang. Pero, more than that, it's really what? Purpose, others. Kapag hindi ko siya nagawa, tingin nyo may buhay na apektado, yes or no? Gaano kadami? 1 million din. 1M by 1M. Which means my direction, my vision for Prime effective today because I'm sharing this with you, is we are not stopping and we will not stop, and I will continue to 10x because I am not even 1%. Now, ask me what's the best part. You're no longer, this vision of yours is no longer building your richness. It's no longer making you rich, but it's already building you a what? Legacy and significance. Which, by the way, for 100% of people here, sometimes the most important part in life is not just success, but a life lived in significance and legacy. How many of you here, you want to build a life of significance and legacy? Taas ng kamay. Then have a concrete vision.